So this video will be another video on fish that I just got from my aquaponic system. So in the previous two videos you saw the two different types of not bluegill, tilapia. I do have bluegill, which are in that big tank over there. But previously I showed you my Mozambique tilapia, which are in here, and then my blue tilapia, which are over there. So right now I traded all the bluegill that I had in there to a friend for some red Nile tilapia, which I'll be showing you in this video. So I was gonna basically quarantine them for the 4-week period, but don't really have a setup exactly for that right now. So I'll just do my little salt bath thing, or the little salt bath thing where I put them in a bucket for maybe 5 minutes in a higher concentration of salt, and then I'll stick them in this tank. So I'll pretty much show you the Red Nile tilapia, maybe a small video of doing the salt treatment, and then I'll do some GoPro footage of them in this tank. So I have the Red Nile tilapia right in here. Put this on here because I lost some since they jumped out. Forgot that new fish typically are quite jumpy when you get them. So this pipe was just used for filling it, or adding aquaponic water. So I need to make sure the temperatures are right before the temperatures are the same before I do anything, but they are in here. There's a good amount of them. I'll show you. It's kind of hard to see, but I think there's like 50 or so. Decent sized tilapia. So now I have maybe, what is it? I have Red Nile tilapia, Mozambique tilapia, blue tilapia, bluegill, and catfish. So since the temperature in this bucket and my aquaponic system is a 2-degree difference, and it's hard to get this down to the same temperature as my aquaponic system, what I'm gonna do is actually catch all the fish first, put them in this bag, and then float them in the tank, and then stick them in the bucket with the salt. So that's what I'll basically do. So I got them all in the bag. Now to let them float. And this will let them acclimate a little faster, so it'll take like a half an hour or so. So they're almost done floating in the bag, so the temperatures are almost acclimated. I did add a air stone into here just to give them some more oxygen, since there's a good amount of fish in this bag, to make it less stressful for them. So these guys are done acclimating now. The temperature should be the same. So what I'll do is put them in this bucket for 5 minutes and then put them into this tank. So this bucket has salt in it, which is at a high concentration, which should kill most of the bacteria or parasites that are on the fish, which is just a nice safety precaution before you add fish into your aquaponic system or your pond or anything like that. If you have a quarantine system set up, you can leave the fish in there for like 4 weeks or something in a lower concentration, which should help as well. So there's different ways to do it, but right now I'm going to use this bucket, which is at maybe 2 to 5%, somewhere in that range of salt concentration. So if you are doing this method, just make sure to watch the fish throughout those 5 minutes, because this can be stressful for them, or it is stressful for them. So if you see anything looking funnier or something like that swimming interestingly, you want to take it out. The oxygen is nice because it gives them just an extra boost of the oxygen while they're in here. And I'll put the concentration, or the rough concentration, up in that corner right there of what I have these guys in, and as well I will post a link down below which also has different concentrations for how you can do this, because there is different ways to do it. As I said, you can keep your fish in a quarantine for 4 weeks with a lower concentration of salt, which is like a salt treatment or salt therapy, I think that's what it's called. This is more like a salt bath or a salt dunk kind of thing, where you just do it for a short period and a higher concentration. So as I did mention earlier in the video, the purpose of doing this is just to get rid of any parasites or bacteria on the fish, because it does kill a good amount of the known fish ones. Not all of them, so there's some that it won't get rid of, but a good amount. So it's just very beneficial and safe to do this before you add them to your aquaponic system, especially if you get fish from someone else. I mean, pretty much anywhere you're gonna get fish from someone else. So this is just good to do, just as an extra safety precaution, so you don't cause your other fish in your aquaponic system to get sick or anything. So you don't have a system shut down or a crash, which is unfortunate, because then you have to do cycling and all that again and treat your fish, and which is a headache. Trust me, I know. So that's all for that video. It was just a simple video showing you the Red Nile Tilapia I just got from my aquaponic system, and the method I do when I'm adding them to the aquaponic system, which is basically giving them that salt bath and treatment kind of thing, which is something I would recommend to do. So if you do add the fish and you do notice them like the fins clamped up or just hanging at the bottom, not swimming around or anything, that is a sign there could be something up. So maybe you want to remove them and quarantine them again. But other than that, if you see them swimming around nicely, which it looks like the ones I just added are doing, hopefully you were able to see that in the GoPro footage, but those are like the signs you should look out for if you do add new fish to your aquaponic system or your pond in general. If you do see the fish like clamped up, swimming funny, hanging around at the surface, hanging at the bottom or something like that, it's a good sign. Could be something up. Could just be stress, so maybe give it a day and see if it becomes better, because the fish do become stressed through that transition of just moving them from one place to another, or moving them from one person's aquaponic system to another aquaponic system, or up one pond to another. Since there's always stress, there's different concentrations of the nitrites, the ammonia, nitrites, and pH inside the system, either a pond or aquaponic system. And the temperature is different as well, so you just want to make sure you reduce as much stress factors as you can and just watch out for the fish. So if you have any questions or comments, remember, as always, leave them below and I'll get to those when I can. Other than that, remember, if you haven't done so already, I appreciate the support, and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you for watching.